So welcome, thank you very much for joining. Appreciate that. This webinar, which is going to be a short one actually. I'm going to try to keep it in a good amount of time, not lengthen it too much, unless you have lots of questions, which I always encourage. But what I want to show here in a very concise way is a very quick method that you can use to start getting access to, like it says, access to the Microsoft 365 learning content in context of your environment. All right. You may or may not have seen the Microsoft 365 learning content, so I could show it to you, and then we'll go from there and show you exactly how quick it is to get access to it. And there's no cost to what I want to show you. There is a premium version of what I'm going to show you, and I'll talk about that at the end, but that's not the focal point of this session. It's very much about how you yourself can get access to this content for you, and also if you want to get access or give access to your employees, how you can do that. All right. This is who I am, just in case I have not had the pleasure to meet you yet. My name is Asif Rahmani. I'm from Chicago. This is a quick, brief history of my professional history, at least, of what I do and what I've done before. So I've been very focused on the whole Office 365 arena, and before that, SharePoint arena. And honestly, my thought has always been, how do I get information quickly, efficiently, concisely, as close to my audience as possible? And I've done that through sessions at conferences, webinars like this one, and other places. So if you do see me at another conference sometime, please come and say hello. I would love to meet you. All right, let's get into the actual session. Main thing, the only thing that we're focused on in this short, concise webinar is the challenge of finding Microsoft 365 official learning content requires searching for it. And the searching for is out of context. Let me explain this a little bit more. So I, being a trainer, I get the opportunity to talk to a lot of people from all different facets of life and roles and all. But whenever I talk to somebody, and it doesn't matter even if it's my son or all the way to an end user or an admin somewhere or somebody else, they always say, yeah, well, when I want to search for something, I open up a new tab and I start searching. Google.com, Bing.com, right? That's where we've all gotten spoiled to do that, which is wonderful. Don't get me wrong, obviously, search has come a long way. Great. But I feel as a trainer, again, that it's much more efficient, especially for employees, for folks who are doing their job, to not lose context from their job. So they get the help, they get the training, whatever you want to call it, right there at their moment of need. Okay? Hopefully you can follow what I'm saying. If you're in an application, you should be able to get help and training and learning content for that application directly from the manufacturer right there in context of your environment. That's something that I believed in for a long, long time now. And some other folks are finally coming around as well. And I'm hearing the same thing from the community. So if you believe in that, I would love to hear your thoughts as well. I'm going to jump right in. I'm very much of a show and tell kind of guy. So let me show you without wasting time in just PowerPoint stuff over here. Okay, what I did for this particular session was I went ahead and made a new profile. If you're not familiar, in Chrome, and now in the new Edge also, you can make new profiles. So, right here, for example, I made a new profile, webinar demo, and I just went to an Office 365 environment, a dummy environment, M365, X381, blah, 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 whatever. The experience here is when you go to an application in Office 365, like Excel, PowerPoint, OneDrive, SharePoint, whatever, you have some help that's available. There's a question mark here, which I won't click on right now, but unfortunately it's not been as helpful to me. There's this need help over here, which I'm not even sure why it's not even clickable at times. Like I'm clicking on it right now, but nothing is happening, so something is broken. But there's no consistent experience that I get as a user when I really need help, when I'm in an application like Excel, for example, or like Word, or like PowerPoint, or everything else. But if you look outside, let me think of a query right now. If I want to get help on pivot tables, let's do that. Pivot tables. Not done this query in a while, so let's see what it returns. Okay, support.office.com. There's good content right here. It kind of pushed my screen down because talking about breaking news, some distraction stuff. It's got the header, it's got the sidebar here, and it's got some ads, unfortunately, here too. But overall, the content is good right here. The video is good. This content is good. Why can't we have this content as users directly within our environment? That's the main question. In context, we don't have to do this search and get distracted by 1,500 other things and other stuff, which is not really from Microsoft, right? So the idea here is how can you bring that experience that we just saw right now within the context of your environment right here. So I'm looking in, Excel online in this case. How can I get that help right here? Okay, keep that in mind as I go through this. One thing I mentioned in some of my communication is that what I want to show you is really accomplished within a minute. And it's true that you can accomplish this within a minute and get going. So this is a new profile, a new browser session. Nothing has been done to it yet. And I want to show you exactly what's required to get going. Okay, you do a search, if I can type, for Visual SP plugin. There you go. Okay. If you do a search for Visual SP plugin, this first link right here talks about how you can install the Visual SP online browser extension plugin, which is completely free, by the way, which you can install. It does require install in your browser. All browsers are supported, including Internet Explorer, Chrome, Edge, Firefox, Edge, Safari, everything. If you install it, which is going like that, and clicking on Add to Chrome. So, by the way, the new the new Edge browser also is based on Chromium, as I'm sure many of you know. So it's the same extension that you install in there as well. Later, we're going to have a separate extension for Edge, the new Edge also, but currently you can use the exact same extension. It works perfectly fine. Okay, so all I've done is installed this extension, this plugin, into this browser, nothing else. I'll go back to inventory list. I'll refresh here, or I could just go to a new application. But either way, what's going to happen is I see this need help tab at the bottom. Okay, if you can't see it, it's right here, just in case, need help. If I click on need help, it's not asking me for anything, no information, no activation, login, or whatever. It just immediately, as I said before, this is a new browser session, is showing me content. So in this case, all kinds of stuff. What is Excel? Create a workbook, full data automatically. By the way, some of these things are bold and not bold because the bold ones are the ones that I've not clicked on before, and the unbold ones are the stuff that I've already clicked on before. Let me go ahead and click on something. Yeah, freeze columns or rows. That's something that comes up all the time. So there's a video. And then there's content below it, right? This content is freely available for Microsoft. It is Microsoft support content. And we, as a company, also have a partnership with Microsoft. So we can consume this content directly within the application and provide it for free. So what I just did before, which is getting the extension, coming back here, having the extension, having the plugin available, and having this content, which is free anyway, just being brought in, it's all completely free. There is no charge for any of this stuff that I'm doing so far, okay? And click on play. I can hear in my ears it's playing. Expand that if I wanted to. Whoa, it's pretty big. All right, I can also pop it out. So the experience is there where if I have two screens or I have a big enough screen, I can show this, I can see this while I'm doing my work, right? At the end of the day, context is what we're trying to achieve, what we're trying to keep for the user. So they can see this, they can understand what they need to do, get it trained on it, and be able to do their job right away. There's all kinds of stuff in here. We do a search, formatting, there we go, format numbers and cells, there we go. Hundreds and hundreds of pieces of content available here. Let me go to another application, Word. And once again, when you get it from this interface too, but I'm just going into a document to show you that when you're in a document is where you really need this kind of content. So when you click on need help, once again, information about all kinds of stuff about setting margins and working with tables and printers and all kinds of stuff is available here. Completely curated by us and kept updated on a weekly basis. If I am now, actually, let me show you a couple more context a couple more scopes, and I'll go and talk about the search capability as well. Let's go to OneDrive. By the way, if there's any questions, just go ahead and put it in the questions panel. I do see one question out there by Robert asking what is the link to the plugin. Honestly, Robert, I'm making it hopefully easier than providing you a link. Just do a search for Visual SP plugin. So Visual SP, this right here. Let me zoom in as well so you can see it. Visual SP plugin. If you could just write that down and do a search, you'll end up at the first link right there is going to take you to the list of all different plugins for all different browsers. All right, back to OneDrive here. When I come over here, click on Need Help. This is all specific to OneDrive now, right? Context specific. Restore your OneDrive. Turn on OneDrive backup. Create files and folders. Let me click on something. Here we go. Information about that. Click on something else. Set up OneDrive on your phone and tablet. Here we go. Lots and lots of content all over the place, anywhere you go within Office 365, and hopefully that's helpful to you. Yeah. Let me also show a couple of different scenarios. So in this case, let's say, I'll come back to Word. You're working inside Word and you want to share a link to one of the help items that you've seen that's been helpful to you. So something like, what's a good one? Inserting hyperlinks. I know it's simple, but sometimes people need that, or removing hyperlinks. Let me click on that instead. I'll click the link for this thing, which is, this is a symbol for link. It's going to take the context of this this help item, that's what we call it, the training item, and the context of where you are, and it's going to put it in your clipboard. So if I send it to someone and they go to that link, it's going to take them to that document. It's going to open up the help item right there as they arrive at that document. And we found this scenario to be pretty helpful for people, for help desk especially, or if you're trying to help a colleague, it's right there. And once again, there's no cost to any of the stuff that I'm showing so far. All the stuff is free. Okay. Steve's question, hi Asif, are you totally up to date with the modern interface in SharePoint Online? Yes. So the content, and I can show you some of the content also. It is a developing story, by the way, within the SharePoint Online interface, but everything that you do see within these interfaces that I'm showing, everything is modern capable, or modern, yeah, all the help content, I should say, is for modern. Here we go. Okay, so in this particular context, it's showing me only these items over here, but this is all modern content, or from modern sites. I mean, now Microsoft is coming up with a lot more content in the future as well. So one of the things that I have in my Q&A a little bit later in the slide deck is that we're keeping things updated for the current content, and we're adding new content as Microsoft is coming out with the additional content as well. Now, of course, we have our own content pack as well, but that's premium. That's a paid service, but all this content is completely free. The new content that Microsoft will also come up with will also keep that completely free. Pull it in, keep it all updated for you guys. And honestly, all I ask for humbly is if you can provide us feedback going forward, just email us at support@visualsp.com, or click on the tell us what you think and put some feedback here. That's going to help us a long way, because that's how we make changes or keep things similar or change stuff around. So that would be very, very helpful. Okay, let me give you another scenario here. Let's say I'm searching for something that's not here, meaning Teams. All right, Microsoft Teams has become, of course, an awesome phenomenon in this world. There's so much talk about it these days, especially within the Microsoft realm. I'm looking for Teams content, but it's not here. But what this is saying is that I cannot find Teams content here in this context. You can search the full library of help items. So I'll go ahead and do that. So it sent that query, Teams query, right there to my entire library. And it found 11 items right there. Create and organize teams, create a plan, add tabs, and here's the content for all that. Yeah. If I also, I can maybe, let's go ahead and reset this and see there's 676 items. That's good to know how many exactly that's there right now. And that's going to be augmented with additional stuff as well as Microsoft comes out with more. But that's what it is currently, 676 items exposed here. I can start looking through it here. I can also maybe put the group here, look at it within different groups, sort, filter content. I can also see it by scope. Let me maybe take that out. Use the scope to say, show me only content for PowerPoint. We have not seen that yet, so let's look at that. There it is. Lots and lots of good content. Lots of good content out there. So we're consuming everything, anything that's available, and putting it out there. Tony's question, content is refreshed automatically? Yes, so you don't have to reinstall anything, Tony. It's all going to be reconfigured and refactored, I should say, on our side. And once it's done, automatically you'll start seeing the update. So there's no intervention on your part or other people that you've given it to. It's just going to automatically have the new content, just like that. Steve is asking, I'm impressed. How can you do this for free? Steve, if you would like to pay for it, please contact me. We can definitely charge you as well. But just kidding aside, as I mentioned before, that we, as a company, Visual SP, have a partnership with Microsoft. And through that partnership, we're making all this content available for free through our Visual SP application. Okay, so all you have to do is get the Visual SP application, you get all the content, all the functionality that I'm showing you so far. There's no charge for it. Having said that, I'm going to talk about this in a deck a little bit later also, that there are additional things that you can get that there is a premium cost for if you would like to. But this, what you've seen so far, and some more stuff that I'll show you, is all completely free. Okay. All right, so actually I've shown a bunch of stuff here already. Oh yeah, one more thing over here since we're in this interface. Let's say if you want to send a specific help item or a specific training item to someone without the context. You're in this view and you say, you know what, add word art to a slide. I need to show this to someone. Or maybe you search for it, I don't know. Let's do that. So then you get the exact scenario of what happens. Word art, yeah, that's exactly what I was looking for. You grab a link to this and you send it to a colleague. And there you go. That's the actual article that we're pulling in. That's exactly what it is without any distracting ads or header or footer or left nav. This is exactly it, support.office.com. So it is content available from Microsoft, but of course it's available with all the other distracting features and you have to search for it. In this case, we're just consuming everything and bringing it in context for you, okay? You know, another way that you guys, Steve and others who are asking about that, if you would like to pay us back, I would, you know, really appreciate, like I said, feedback and also helping spread the word. We're not a huge company. It's not easy for us to spread the word out to too many people out there. So if you can help spread the word, we'd really appreciate that. Okay, and it is available, as I mentioned, right away. Just do a search once again for Visual SP plugin. That's all you gotta do. Visual SP plugin, the first link comes up, install it for your browser and you're done. Nothing else is needed, okay? All right. Steve is asking, can you share it with my team and others? Please do, absolutely. And is this recorded? Yes. So all the stuff that I've been showing is recorded. You will automatically, within a few hours, I think, get a recording, get access to the recording. Okay, it's gonna come in the email. Okay, so Joel is asking a question which I'm gonna be covering a little bit later. Is a user, if the user opens a file with a desktop application, what happens? Okay, so let me go back to my PowerPoint here and talk about this just a second here. So from what I've shown you so far, common frequently asked questions that come up. Is there any cost? We talked about this, no cost. Microsoft Learning content is provided through Visual SP's partnership with Microsoft in this case. How often do you keep the content updated? I already mentioned that as well, that we do keep it updated on a weekly basis. Okay, here's a question by Joel. How are the desktop applications supported? So I got good and bad news for you guys in here. We are going to have support for Microsoft Teams that's coming soon. For Outlook and Office desktop applications, we do not support those. That would be a separate plugin altogether. And currently, it's not in our roadmap, but depending on the feedback we receive in the future, it might become. Currently, Microsoft Teams application will be coming soon. Other stuff not supported. Okay, so then this question, what if I want to change and control what is being shown to my users? That comes up a lot also when we talk about this functionality, right? Whatever I've shown you so far is completely free. There's no charge for it. However, if you do want to change and control what is being shown, that there's a premium version of Visual SP that you can get. And that will let you customize content, make more contents, view analytics, and more. All right, and I'll talk about that premium version in a minute also if you're interested. Before we go there, let's talk about the future release of what you've already seen, the free version of it, of Visual SP. We're going to have inclusion of additional content. So Microsoft is already planning new content for it, and we're going to be supporting that as well as soon as it comes out within a week. Support for multiple languages. That's going to be coming later as well. Okay, so that's still being architected right now of exactly how that's going to happen. But ultimately, hopefully, the experience is going to be that if you're seeing something in French or if you're seeing something in Spanish or whatever, you'll see that particular content available right there. It just will show up. Same thing within the Visual SP tab. Okay. Also, the ability to get to Microsoft Learning content from Microsoft Teams, and that's I already talked about. That's going to come as well. I cannot give you a date on this one, but knock on wood, that should not be that long from now. So hopefully I'll have some good news. All right. Visual SP for Learning Pathway, the premium version that I was talking about. So if you do want to understand what the premium version does, I'll quickly show you. Oh, I could quickly talk about it. Maybe I'll show you as well if I get a chance. And then we can talk more about that. So if you're looking to get access to usage analytics of the data, of who is clicking, where are they clicking, what are they clicking on, that kind of stuff, there's a premium version for that. Ability to customize and create your own learning content. Everything that you've seen so far, it can all be, the actual help item could be customized. Obviously, Microsoft's articles cannot be customized because they're hosted on their site, but you can always take the content, some of the content, customize it for your need, or create your own content and make that available to the premium version. And also additional premium content packs that our company produces and also our partners produce. That's available as well. Yeah. Oh yeah, forgot about that. Full online and phone support. So obviously you get that as well with the premium version. What I've shown you before, we will provide support for it as much as we can through email. But if you're looking for online support, phone support, synchronously, then that's in the premium version. Just to give you a quick perspective of the cost, once again, we're not trying to sell anything in this session, but just so you know, here's the cost structure, more or less, for the premium version of the application. Okay, call to action. Download and try out the Visual SP plugin, and just like that, all you have to do is just search for this Visual SP plugin, that word, and the two words, and you'll get to it. And you can distribute the plugin to your users also if you like. They can do it. They can get it manually, obviously, if you like, or you can do it through group policy, SCCM. We even have an article about that. So bit.ly bulk install Visual SP. You'll see exactly the different ways if you're not familiar as to how you can do the bulk install. And if it's useful for you, go for it. All right. That's about it. Wow. So even within 30 minutes, we're done. Like I said, I wanted this to be a very concise and to the point webinar. If you have questions, I would definitely take those questions. I'm going to pause my screen, and what I'm going to do is I'll bring up a demo environment so you can at least see what the premium version does. Then obviously it's up to you if you would like to talk to us further about that. But all that I've shown you so far is completely free. There's nothing that we try to push within that application. Okay. So I'm not seeing any questions. I'm going to go ahead and just quickly show you what the experience is like if you have the premium version. Okay. So same thing, need help tab is right there at the bottom right. If I click on it, and I would have to enable edit mode. So enable edit mode, add a help item comes up, or I can customize any of these things like upload files or whatever else like you were seeing before. If I click on add a help item, the editor is a very full-featured editor over here that you can use. Okay, you can make walkthroughs, videos, rich HTML, all kinds of content. And basically that's how you do it. I don't want to go too deep into this right now. This session is not really about the premium version. Quickly, I'll show you that if you do go through, for example, a walkthrough, switch to walkthrough builder, pretty easy. You can make walkthroughs, something I've not even shown you, but select element, say, okay, I want to point to this one, files, use it. and files, checkout files. So a very quick way of making these walkthroughs like that. That's what it is, a walkthrough. It's the first step over here. So walkthroughs are supported, videos are supported, web pages, all kinds of stuff are supported in the application. What I've shown you mostly has been us consuming web pages from Microsoft, and that's all completely free, the consumption of it. If you want to change stuff around from here, then obviously there's a premium cost to it. One last thing, got a couple minutes remaining over here. If I go in here, click on View Analytics, then you'll see the analytics, which in this demo tenant, there's not much going on. But clicks by application scope, planner, OneDrive, calendar, clicks by browser, clicks by viewer media type, who's doing it, and other content like that. Clicks by help item, the different searches that people are doing to look for information. Yeah, and this is all premium version with all the other stuff in here as well. Okay, so once again, call to action. I'll go back here. As I've said before, you can go ahead and download it. You can go ahead and install it for yourself, for your users, bulk install as well, completely free. If you have any questions, send it to support@visualsp.com or info@visualsp.com, or you can send it directly to me also at asif@visualsp.com, and if we can help, we'd be glad to. It's an opportunity, I think, for us to serve the community, to serve the Office 365 and SharePoint community with all this content through Microsoft, so why not? We're looking forward to doing a lot more of this thing. So thanks for coming. Please help us spread the word, and let me know if you have any questions. Oh, there is one question out there. Let me see. Oh, first it was Susan saying thank you. You're welcome, Susan. Are you able to differentiate between content we add and content that was published? Tony is asking. Yeah, so in the interface that I was showing you, I won't go back to that right now, Tony, but you can definitely differentiate the stuff that's coming from a specific content pack, which in this case is Microsoft Content Pack compared to your content pack. You can filter that out. Absolutely. Steve is asking, I just installed the extension in the new Edge. Notice that the help icon is not in the toolbar. It's in the toolbar. Help icon is in the tool. I'm not sure what you mean there, but I'll show you my Edge here as well. Actually have Edge running. So this is the new Microsoft Edge, which we definitely support. And here's all the content in Edge. We have it supported in all different browsers. Oh, okay, you saw it. Okay, never mind. You said that, Steve, you saw it. It just took a while. Okay, got it. All right, folks, I want to stay true to the commitment of it being a 30 minutes webinar. A couple minutes still ahead. I'm going to go ahead and end over here, but definitely let us know if you can help with anything else. And feedback is always, always appreciated. So thank you very much for coming. See you next time. Thanks. Bye.